I'm often asked, why should Christians be involved in political conversations? And I just want to say that through my observation of being a council elected official and an office manager for an elected body, I cannot say how wrong that point of view is. Christians are desperately needed in the conversations that are happening within legislative bodies and policy discussions, because absent of these conversations, we see the consequences. We see what's going on in our schools. We see what's going on in the culture around us and the general decline of values that reflect Christ. We see an absence of God. And if we say that we should not be involved in political discussions, then the enemy will be glad to speak up. For example, this last year in this Washington State Legislature, there was a bill that says that children, minor children under the age of 16, that if they're going to go have an abortion, that their parents should be notified. And yet, when there was the testimony taken on this, only one pastor signed in. And that pastor did not represent God or a biblical worldview. He actually signed in and testified against the bill. He signed in and said, no, parents should not be notified if their child is going to have an abortion. And so when our legislators make a decision, they're going to see one pastor's name, and that pastor will have led them down the wrong path, and they'll believe that this bill shouldn't have been passed. And so the absence of Christian testimony into this particular topic was tremendously detrimental. Christians have a voice. We know the truth. We know the truth because God is the source of this truth. And if we are absent from the conversations and discussions that happen in these legislative bodies, then God is absent, very much absent. And wherever God is absent, once again, the enemy, he will be glad to take the void. Christians, your voice is desperately needed. If it's just getting to know your elected official and creating a relationship with them, to voting, which is the minimum participation that every Christian should do, and informed voting at that, all the way up to and including running to office. But do not think that Christian involvement in politics means that you're going to become a politician or get involved in the ugly side of that. I encourage you to separate the two. Christians are needed to be part of a conversation. And we know how to bring God in a way that glorifies Him. And I encourage you to find out more by continuing to look at our webpage. Contact me and I will be glad to talk with you more about how this looks and how to engage. Remember, the Bible calls us to influence our surroundings and not to be influenced by it. Christians, it's time to be an influence once again.